Good morning, everyone. Today we are going to discuss the Unit 5 Instructional Media Part 3 from Mathematics. Disclaimer: the video content has been made available for information and educational purpose only. Let's start with the benefits of emerging media for the journalist. While the increasing usage of internet, media houses have also transformed their process of functioning into digital platform. Journalists are using various digital tools to present the report. The digital technology is offering rich visual experiences in multiple platforms. The multiple benefits of using emerging media have attracted the attention of journalists throughout the globe. Following are some of the benefit journalists are getting from emerging media: maintaining the relationship with the source to expand the brand, new ways in publishing the story, crowdsourcing, knowledge of multiple platform, instant feedbacks to stories. Let's go in depth for each subtopic. Maintaining the relationship with the source, interactivity, characteristics of emerging media is helping the journalist to build and maintain a relationship with the resources. In the mainstream media, the reporters don't have any scope to interact with the readers and our audience. The only way to get the feedback from the readers, in case of print media, is a letter to the editor. In social media, the content users are giving instant feedback to the published reports. Not only the journalists, but also their management is asking them to active on digital platform and to extend the relationship with their community, to expand the brand. In the highly competitive industry, media owners are in the constant efforts to popularize their brand among the users. In order to expand their brand, they are taking attempts such as online presence of their outlet, creating the blogs by the journalists and other. Even the reporters and editors are publishing exclusive contents on their blogs to create a separate image. With the emerging media in place, local media brands are gaining popularity across the globe. Emerging media is providing opportunities for the media outlet to expand their reach and popularity. The next one is new way in publishing the story. Unlike mainstream journalists, here journalists are getting ample scope to file their stories as and when can publish it even from their smartphones. They don't have to go to office to publish a story. Even the television journalists can cover an event and file the story by sending visuals through their smartphones. Smartphones now have many applications which are helping them even to edit their stories, unlike space and time crunch in mainstream media. Here, writers have flexibility in extending and contracting their write up. Next one is the crowdsourcing. We are seeing the trend that journalists are now logging into the social networking site to get the story ideas. To make information, the rich reports, they are collecting ample materials on their stories from their various sources. The crowdsourcing means to collect information from various sources via the internet. The four writing features are 10 stories. Most of the journalists are researching and getting the inputs from various websites. To provide a unique experience, they are using multiple platforms such as visuals, text images, graphics, and animations. Increasing number of animation tools are used in various stories. Again, we look into the crowdsourcing. We are seeing the trend to journalists are now logging into the social networking sites to get story ideas. To make the information rich report, they are collecting ample materials on the stories from various sources. The crowdsourcing means to collect the information from various sources via internet from for writing features or trend stories. Most of journalists are researching and getting the input from various websites. To provide a unique experience, they are using multiple platforms such as visuals, text, images, graphics, and animations. Increasing number of animation tools are used in various stories. The knowledge of multiple platform. Another important benefit journalists are getting from emerging media is that the knowledge of multiple platforms. With the convergence of technologies, contents are created for the multiple platforms, targeting every kind of users. A print journalist has the knowledge on how to edit a video or how to create an animated graphics. In the same manner, televisions and online journalists have knowledge on their tools. The journalists are also making themselves updated in various technologies as technology is changing fast. So, are also its usage. Journalists are also learning their hands-on experience on the upcoming technology. Earlier, a print journalist did not have an idea on the working of the printing machine, but now journalists have knowledge on how the content is uploaded on the website use of multimedia tools and use the interactive elements, etc. The instant feedback to stories. Another important benefits for journalists is that they're getting instant feedback for their stories. Under the mainstream media, journalists have to wait for days or weeks or months to get the feedback for their stories. But here, within the seconds of publishing content, they are getting feedback or comments on their stories. Sometimes the instant feedback comes across the board, which create enthusiastic among the journalists. Again, we will repeat the knowledge of multiple platform. Another important benefit journalists are getting from the emerging media is the knowledge of the multiple platform with the conventions of technologies. Contents are created for the multiple targeting every kind of users. A print journalist has the knowledge on how to edit a video or how to create an animated graphics. The same on a television and online journalists have knowledge on the other tools. Journalists are also making themselves updated on various technologies as technology is changing fast, so are also its usage. Journalists are also learning their hands-on experience on upcoming technology. The earlier print journalists did not have the idea of the working of the printing machine, but now journalists have the knowledge on how the content is uploaded on the website, use the multiple tools and use the interactive elements. The instant feedbacks to the stories. Another important benefits of the journalists is that they are getting instant feedback for the stories. Under the mainstream media, journalists have to wait for days or weeks or months to get the feedback of the stories. But here, within a seconds of publishing the content, they are getting the feedback on the content of the stories. Sometimes the instant feedback times across the border, which creates enthusiasm among the journalists. Teleconference. Telegram conference is a simple word is a meeting between two individuals with many people through the telephone or the network connections located in the same city or in different cities, states, or the countries. It's a real-time exchange of information between the people. People can conduct meeting, training, demonstration, data transfer, etc. The educational teleconferencing is a valuable media for this distance education. It involves the use of the several media and permits interactive group communication by means of a two-way broadcast. Today, dependence on this technology is accelerating. The industry is using audio-related visual data that can be transferred over the regular telephone lines appear to be related to the growth of the distance education. Next one is moving to technical description. The teleconferencing is an electronic means which can bring together three or four people in two or three more locations to discuss or share the use of a two-way and one-way video, both full motion, slow motion, electronic backward backspace, computer graphics, radio satellite, and video text. However, the most essential part of all forms of teleconferencing is a good quality audio system to help immediate interactions among the participants for information exchange. The audio teleconferencing requires a multiple telephone line, electronic switch, or the interconnection device called the bridge to watch the users who can attach a wide variety of data transmission devices and telephones. The normal practice is to connect one device per line of the bridge. The audio equipment used with the bridge are the usual handsets, headsets, speakerphones, radio telephones, microphones, speaker units. The audio teleconferencing uses regular telephones lines provided by the local public telephone companies. If the quality of the standard business or the household line is good enough, virtually any line could be used. The effective contact through the teleconferencing can be made in any reasonably quiet environment. The occasional users normally purchase their services from the local telephone company. Teleconferencing consultants are a major users that is willing to sell available time on its system. The cost for the starting university or the college-based private audio teleconferencing systems are not large in the local system has a relatively quiet line, readably accessibility and accessible local and long distance rates. The cost of the starting a university or the college-based private audio teleconference system are not large. With telephone system, if the local telephone system has a relatively quiet line, read the accessibility and acceptable long and local and long distance rates. A typical teleconferencing setup will have a studio with a recording and transmission facility where expert teachers can sit and deliver the lecture. The studio is linked to the satellite earth stations through which the live transmissions go to the satellite for the further transmission to the reception center where the DRS units are placed with a parabolic antenna, television sets and a telephone for talkback. This is the typical scenario for one-way video and a two-way audio teleconference system. However, in the Edsat-based teleconference, such centers are called receive-only terminals, that is ROT, which may also have computers with web cameras connected to the interactive resources and the presence in the media through the video as well. However, this is a typical scenario for one-way video and a two-way audio teleconference systems. or the EDSAT based on the teleconference. Such centers are called receive-only terminals or ROTS, which may also have the computers with web cameras connected to interact with the resource persons in the studio through the video as well. In addition, the EDSAT network also have two-way video conference facility with a satellite interactive terminals, that is SIT, making it fully interactive in real-time mode. A typical teleconference setup is shown in the figure. What are the advantages of teleconferencing? The support for the teleconference was mainly due to the consideration of the following advantages: that is, effective support for the remote learners, cost effectiveness, flexible system, familiar instructional mode, easy scheduling adjustment, multi-location access control, high quality instructions, and immediate feedback. Let's see each in detail. The effective support for the remote learners. Teleconferencing can be very useful when the most of the potential students are widely scattered among the communities that are far apart from each centers. Has a thinner learner population, say less than 10 students in a given course or a program. The cost effectiveness, the cost of starting and operating the teleconference system is very low in comparison with other available methods of serving remote learners. Flexible system. The system can be adjusted quickly to serve the large or small groups. Familiar instruction mode. The mode of instruction is similar to that of the seminar, with the instructors being in charge of the discussion, able to stimulate the multiple location interaction. The issue scheduling adjustment. A scheduling adjustment can be made almost as readily as for on the campus classrooms. Multi-location access control. Access to the instruction. The program can be controlled through a limited number of campus centers. High quality instructions. The quality of instructional materials can be kept high because of the need for careful and early preparations. The immediate feedback. The teleconference system provides the facility for the immediate feedback to the learners and allow them to convey their reaction to the tutors. What are the limitations of teleconferencing? Teleconferencing has certain inherent limitations due to which it is not frequently used in education. Some of these are as follows. Teleconferencing requires a huge and very efficient telephonic, radio, and television network throughout the country. The chances of technical breakdowns are quite high. The telephone charges are very high, which all the educational institutes cannot afford. Teleconferencing is a costly technique of instructions. It requires sophisticated technology and expert human power. Teleconferencing is a mode of group of communication, so the willingness of each participant is an essential requirement, but is generally lacking, especially among distance learners. It takes time to organize. What are the limitations of the teleconferencing? Teleconferencing requires a huge and very efficient telephonic and radio television network throughout the country. The chances of technical breakdowns are quite high. The telephone charges are very high, which all the education institutions cannot offer. Teleconferencing is a costly technique of instructions. It requires sophisticated technology and expert human power. Teleconferencing is a mode of group communication, so the willingness of each participant is an essential requirement, but is generally lacking, especially among the distance learners. It takes time to organize. What are the types of teleconferencing? May find the term teleconferencing misleading. Some people interpret the term to mean the television as a medium. Is it a type of teleconferencing? But teleconferencing covers a much wide range of means which are being used in distance education for others communication purpose. Tele here means distance, talking to the students at a distance, which makes it useful for teaching at a distance. Depending on the use of the hardware, can be of three types of teleconferencing. One is the audio teleconferencing, audio graphics, video teleconferencing, and the computer teleconferencing. Audio teleconferencing. Yeah, teleconferencing where the audio media is used as a two-way communication is known as audio teleconferencing. Most audio teleconferencing communication is auditory. The use of the audio conferencing is rapidly becoming a preferred instructional media in advanced countries. The two-way audio communication is a more economical method of academic interactions. For example, University of Calgary is involved in the creation of the system using the audio telephone conferencing strictly as a teaching tool known as educational teleconferencing. There are also some other universities in the developed countries using audio teleconferencing for educational purpose, but such cases are today limited in a number. There have been a number of studies on the effectiveness of the audio teleconferencing from the point of view of the students' learning. Ellis and Chapman, 1982. These studies show that telephone is an effective medium of education as is the face-to-face teaching. A study conducted in Canada found that upper-level graduate statistics the students taught through the teleconference did as well as or the better than the campus-based students, and it is zero dropout. rate. The traditional correspondence instructions, on the other hand, reported on the average dropout rate of 40 to 60%. The satisfaction recorded among the students was high, and remote learners through the course did not lack rigor or suitable contact. Audio graphics, the effective variation of audio composition technique is the use of graphics simultaneously along with the sound. The system is called as audio graphics. A typical audio graphics setup consists of an instructor site and a number of remote sites. The instructor site consists of a speakerphone, high-power PC, based microcomputers, modern flatbed image scanners, and high-resolution monitors. The remote sites have one or more speakers, phones, and computers, along with a monitor to receive image such as the setup enable the instructor to teach in a real-time mode, showing the graphics through the computer screen. The video teleconferencing, this type of teleconferencing is arranged by combining two-way video media. This technology is a limited use in education due to its high cost and various other problems such as the linking of multiple locations by the medium of video, availability of hardware, etc. The video teleconferencing, however, has advantages over the audio teleconferencing because of its visual components. The video teleconferencing increases the quality of interactions because both the teachers and experts or the students can see each other and can share their feelings and experiences. But the problem is to justify the cost involved in arranging two-way visual communication. The video teleconferencing needs, besides budgetary provisions, the most sophisticated technology at both the sources and receiving ends. Applying the facilities at the receiving ends are required to make it a two-way interactive communication systems. Taking all this into consideration, we can find a moderate way to make use of video teleconferencing. That is, we can use one-way video with audio return connection using the satellite uplink from the receiving end. This arrangement is also difficult to make in our context because of the both financial and technological constraints. The computer teleconferencing, it is the most effective way of satellite-based education teleconferencing with adequate facility of suitable hardware. The information can be sent and received at the convenience of both the teacher and the students with the use of computers. The computer conferencing can be text-based or the full video-based. The web conferencing methods use chats and instant messaging. One can see the other person by having a webcam and streaming videos. Some of the common and popular programs that use internet connections are the Yahoo Messengers, MS Messages, Skype, and Google Talk. At designing the teleconference sessions, as a distant educator, you may be given the responsibility of organizing teleconferencing in your institutions. It is therefore very important for all of us to clearly understand the techniques of organizing the teleconference. The process of teleconferencing consists of four stages which follow systematically one after the other, like planning, preparing materials, preparing students, conducting the actual sessions, and feedbacks. Planning, as in any business meeting, careful advice planning is of vital importance for the success of teleconferencing. First of all, decide the content of your session. Right from the initial stages, you need to be well aware of the possible issues to be involved in the discussion, the needs and attitude of the students participating. You need to know the number of students and duration of each sessions. Check all the necessary requirements, wires, and demonstration of equipment including a trial with microphones, etc. At the same time, you need to have on the location discussions with the technical staff involved in the operation of teleconferencing. Every operational detail has to be discussed with them to avoid mid-conference failures. Preparing material after the initial planning, prepare the supporting material for the students. Educational conferencing should be enriched by the use of the printed materials, including the charts and diagrams. The printed guide should reach the students well in time so that they can use these material during the teleconferencing session and can actively participate in the discussions. Preparing the students for the active participations in teleconferencing is an important function of the distance educator in charge of the conference. The student should know in advance about the content being discussed, the objective is to be achieved, and about the teleconferencing system. They should be psychologically ready to learn through talkback facilities, and the preparatory activities should not take much time. The conduct in the actual sessions, after preparing the students, the actual teleconferencing starts. The sessions should be interactive so that all the students can actively participate and learn as much as they can from the conference session. While conducting the sessions, we have to keep some do's and don'ts in the mind. They are also as follows. The expert should have the good audible voice and sound. good and sound communication skills and should undergo a simple audition test before being involved in teleconference. The expert should be selected carefully. The expert should speak directly into the microphone rather than to anyone one side. By doing so, he or she will be able to speak directly to the students. As far as possible, each student should be addressed by the name if the number of learners is small enough. Like the self-instructional materials, the discussion should be informal. There is a need to add human touch and humor as and when required, provided it does not disturb the educational value of the discussion. It is important to set aside the sufficient time for the questions, answers, and discussions so as to make the session as interactive as possible. Student should be encouraged to actively participate in the discussions. Feedback after the conference is over, you should cooperate with the students to satisfy the specific needs and requirements. Thereafter, they should be given sufficient time to reach out to the quality of conference. At the same time, the feedback session must help the students know about their performance. Almost equal time should be given for preparing the students for teleconferencing and collecting the feedback from them. For the students' convenience, the teleconference sessions could be recorded and be made available at the study center for those individual students who could not, for any reason, participate in the conference. By doing so, you can make optimum use of the discussions held during the conference. Towards the end of the session, you should motivate the students to send their either personally or through letters their reactions to and ideas about the overall effectiveness of the teleconference. The reactions thus collected can be used as input to improve the quality of the conference to be held in the future. The systematic evaluation of this type provides further inputs for use to the teleconference organizers, distant teachers, and experts in planning and conducting better teleconference. The effectiveness of teleconferencing depends upon the appropriateness of the content being discussed and the resourcefulness of the experts invited to conduct the discussion. An eminent scholar, the experts can be brought into teleconferencing from anywhere in the country to give a live presentation to the participating students.